What is schizophrenia to you?
I don't know. I guess it's having hallucination and voices and thinking something's real that isn't.
How would you explain your type of schizophrenia? Do you think it got pretty bad?
Oh, it's been bad.
It wasn't low and livable level. It wasn't mild. It was more severe.
Very severe.
Now, was that recently, or was it like a couple years ago?
About a year ago.
What was your upbringing of schizophrenia?
Well, I had an aunt who had it.
You think it's passed down?
Oh, yeah. My family, on my father's side, they all had mental problems.
It wasn't stress-related?
No. It was inherited.
Inherited. So it's genetics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did it alter your personality, like your life?
Well, for a long time I didn't know I had it, and I thought I had superpowers.
Superpowers?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that I could foresee things.
You can see into the future?
Yeah.
Wow. Did that ever happen? Could you see into the future? Did anything ever happen? You're like, whoa, this happened.
Well, to me, it all worked out.
It all worked out.
I didn't know it was schizophrenia. It was just a way of life for me.
Could you describe it as like a different world?
Yeah.
Was it a feeling?
It's a feeling and a thought and a way of living. So
in some cases of schizophrenia, people split off from reality. You felt like that, you said.
Oh, yeah. It altered the way you lived. I was scared of people. Sometimes. I wouldn't go outside sometimes.
For example, just let's say someone's grandmother died, and while everyone else is mourning, someone with schizophrenia would feel a different type of emotion.
I always thought different than everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Could you describe your different feeling as you didn't feel anything at all?
That's how I am now.
A flat effect, that's what it's called?
Yeah.
So like when everyone else is happy, you're kind of like, oh, I don't really feel anything.
Yeah.
How about your motor behavior? And what this means is perform simple actions such as like, rubbing your arms, scratching, any physical feelings.
I have slow motor skills.
You feel like schizophrenia did that to you?
It's all in the diagnosis.
Do you remember when you were diagnosed with schizophrenia?
No.
You don't? Was it a couple years ago?
Yeah. I mean, I've lived with it all this time, and just thought I was an odd duck. Because I thought so differently. After 20 years...
After 20 years of having schizophrenia?
They had diagnosed everything but the schizophrenia. They had diagnosed me with a personality disorder.
Who you were diagnosed with? Was it like a bird fish?
Dr. Winters.
You think the doctor was helpful?
He's the first doctor that diagnosed me correctly and gave me the right medication.
Did you know what schizophrenia was before your symptoms?
No.
No.
Had no idea. I've always had schizophrenia.
It was always, the symptoms always shown, but you just didn't know.
I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a personality disorder.
Until recently, you said.
Until voices stopped.
And you're like, wow.
And I used to hallucinate.
And that's what, did the hallucinations, did that begin to tell you, like, oh, I must have something different than personality?
No. It was this Dr. Winters, and he prescribed a medication for schizophrenia, and the voices went away.
So the medication's what really helped you live with schizophrenia. That's good. So, to come with terms of actual having schizophrenia, that was more recent than earlier in your life?
Just recent. I've come to terms with it. And realized that I don't have superpowers. Yeah, I just thought things happened to me like I was picked for some reason.
Like you were the one. You were the Spider-Man in New Smyrna. So was your daughter born before, during, or after your experiences through schizophrenia?
Well, I had it.
Well, you had it.
I have it. I had to go off all medication when I was pregnant.
I bet that affected your schizophrenia a lot.
Well, it affected more my panic disorder and what I was perceiving things as. Everything was out of control.
Were you afraid you were going to lose Nicole?
Oh, yeah.
Your daughter? I mean, that's scary, Did you ever have an episode when pregnant with her?
Never had a schizophrenic episode.
Having schizophrenia during your daughter's life complicate your duties as being a single mom?
Yes.
It did?
when I thought, this is what they tell me. Well, it's happened, like I've had like 3 episodes where I had to go to the hospital and had to be Baker acted.
Now, who were you Baker acted by?
The police.
The police? And how did the police get notified?
My daughter has a call.
Wow.
Because they took me to the hospital and they said I was well and I still wasn't making any sense.
Yeah.
So the only way they could get me back in the hospital was to Baker act me. Oh, also I was suicidal.
Yeah, it's believed that schizophrenia makes people suicidal too. They don't know what to believe, I don't think.
No, you don't.
You were working at the time.
Yeah, I had a lot of problems at work, dealing with people.
Well, where were you working?
It's Southern Bell.
Southern Bell, so a telephone company, you said?
For 27 years.
27, wow. And you managed to work that long with schizophrenia?
Yeah, but I never took a real vacation. I used my vacation for sick days because sometimes I'd get up and I just couldn't cope. And always thinking that people are talking about you.
Oh yeah, that must have been awful. Especially in an environment where you have to be social.
Yeah. I wasn't good in social.
No.
Just the way, I'm still not.
Home life, what was that like, schizophrenia, up until now?
You mean when I was being raised?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of it then.
Yeah, you thought you were a normal girl growing up?
I always thought I was adopted.
You thought you were adopted?
Yeah.
I wonder what that is.
I don't know.
Maybe that just had to do with one of your, being paranoid, because you thought you weren't never good enough?
Yeah, I had a lot of paranoia.
You were never good enough, probably, you felt.
Yeah.
You were kind of like, okay, I was adopted. I don't belong here.
Yeah.
That's when the suicidal thoughts probably started too, right? Or
the first time I was suicidal, I was 12.
Oh, that's really young.
Mm-hmm.
Do you even know what suicide is? When you were going to schizophrenia, like in the hospital, did they ever recommend you need supported housing, job training, and other community support programs?
They told me I would never hold down a job again.
You can never hold down a job again.
No.
So did they ever offer job training or supportive housing for you?
No.
No community support programs for you to join?
Well, I went to some group therapy.
Group therapy?
But I didn't like it.
So that didn't help?
No.
Being around people that were like you didn't help?
Well, they just lump groups together.
So they didn't suffer your disorder then? Well, that doesn't seem to help. No. And
plus, I didn't know I had schizophrenia.
So they put you in a group where you didn't even know what was wrong with you.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a personality disorder.
Wow. So they want you to talk about something else than what you're actually suffering from.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to help at all.
No.
Took her to Halifax the first time to get help. They gave her back to
Over
me.
in Daytona, Halifax?
She actually went in willingly the first time. She saw wood growing out of the room she was in. And they gave her back to me 8 hours later, which I thought was a little bit odd because I didn't
think they did anything.
They did anything, and they said since she wasn't a harm to herself or others, and she didn't seem threatening, that she could be taken home. And as she's walking out, she says there's a potato in her apple juice.
That's not good. It's believed that mothers with schizophrenia, it's passed on to their children. Does that worry you?
No, I don't think my daughter hasn't been diagnosed with it. She doesn't show any signs of it. She's very secure, and I just don't think she has it. She's very rational, where I was irrational.
It's good that you can say that too.
Yeah.
It's good to know early. It really is. But do you believe that it can get worse for her, like it did for you? Because you said it didn't happen for you until recently, where it got pretty bad. Does that worry you about Nicole?
Well, no, I had other episodes. I've had many episodes, all during my life.
Can you describe some of them? Like, what were these episodes like?
Well, they always start out with being suicidal. And
did they tell you what to do, the voices?
They would tell me how to think, bad things. It was all negative things. Like I always had thoughts my daughter was going to die. My human part wasn't intact then. I was totally out.
When you say your
out
human,
of my mind.
When you say your human part, you mean out of your mind?
Yeah. I mean, I just know what people tell me I did.
Wow.
I don't know what I did.
Wow.
I became totally separated. And then hallucinations.
What was the hallucinations like?
Well, I had Michael Jackson in my bedroom performing.
So you were at a concert in your bedroom?
I was at a concert. And I had wood growing from my ceiling down, but I couldn't touch it. I kept trying to touch it. And I had wood growing up through the carpet.
Wow.
And it all seemed real.
Now, how did that... Now, was this around your daughter Nicole or your mom?
This was around my daughter, Nicole.
And so was this here at your house that happened?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And like, was she around you when you were saying all this or hallucinating all this?
Yes, they were the ones that told me what I did.
Wow.
Because I wasn't aware.
Wow.
I was totally out of it.
Wow.
It's something you try to manage every day, but sometimes it just, you get overloaded.
Wow.
Where you totally break from reality. It's like tripping.
Tripping. That's a good word for it. The hallucinating and
you hear music and
sentences not going together right, like
I was chasing dots.
Chasing dots.
At this point, she was chasing dots around the house, and it was unreal.
So these are called episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Episodes. Makes sense. So everyone's not. It's not always the same.
It's not always the same.
Is it ever the same? Like, are you seeing the same thing? Like, are you back at Michael Jackson's concert, or
no?
It's always something.
It's always something different.
And now, different being what? Like, seeing, hearing, feeling.
Yeah, but I'm not with reality.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what other people tell me I say and do.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I can remember being at a Michael Jackson concert in my room,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't remember thinking my daughter was the devil.
You don't remember that, but then Nicole says, your daughter says that, wow, you thought I was the devil.
Because she didn't know who I was. She didn't know who anyone was. She thought I was the devil. She thought I had the mark of the beast on me. She did not like me.
And I do remember about seeing the wood growing.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how Nicole felt.
Probably scared.
Scared.
You'd have to ask her.
Hurt.
Yeah.
It's the devil, wow. Someone you love.
You more than anything.
More than anything, and then being the devil, someone that everyone hates. Why do you think she was the devil?
I think...
Maybe you guys were fighting
I had
before
no
then?
idea. I'm surprised I thought that.
Maybe you guys were fighting before that, your episode.
We were. That's what was happening, is we were fighting. She said she was going to Alabama.
I was going for college. It wasn't the thought that I was going. It was a thought. Like, nothing was concrete. The idea was in her head. So, of course, it's always that thought in the back of my head, like, what happens if I leave? You know, she shouldn't be alone, but at the same time, I have to look out for my future.
Mm-hmm.
And leaving. And that's what triggered the episode.
The episode. So it was stress.
Loss, yeah.
Loss.
And I felt I had nothing to live for.
Yeah. It's also believed that, like, when someone has schizophrenia, they're not supposed to live alone. Like, because I think the main point was because someone stopped taking their medication. But would you ever want to stop taking your medication? I don't think that'd be an issue for you after your episodes.
No.
To rebel or anything, you'd be like, no, that would never happen.
No.
That's good.
She always tried her best to seem like she's okay and not sick, and I think that kind of took a toll on her health, and I think just bottled up, and she just relapsed, you know, because She just went off her I think she might have believed herself that she was well. Like, she didn't need the antipsychotics, that she didn't need this, and she does.
How are you living with schizophrenia now? Do you still attend therapies, or are you being medicated for it?
I have to, oh yeah, they just upped my medication for it, because I started hearing voices again.
Oh no.
So they increased my Geodon.
Geodon.
And they have me on like 5 different medications.
Wow. So that's all for schizophrenia?
No, the Geodon's schizophrenia.
Okay. What are the other ones for?
For depression.
Depression.
Slow motor skills.
Slow motor skills.
Anxiety.
So no therapies? You're not in any more therapies?
I don't go to therapy anymore. I do see a doctor once a month.
So what's that for, the doctor?
He's a psychiatrist.
That's good.
He checks on me and regulates my medication.
That's good.
He lets you end up just talking to him, and he can tell where you're at.
I think it's finally just the right medicine and being taken off the wrong medicine,
the right
doctor, and just finally realizing that it's okay to have, you know, like a mental illness. Like, it's not the end of the world. She's come to terms that she has it and that it can be kept under control.
That's good. I think it's some of the biggest misconceptions of a person living with schizophrenia.
That they're totally crazy. Because for me, I'm not. I mean, I've worked a job for 27 years.
Mm-hmm.
Raised a child with a lot of help.
A lot of help.
Bought property, sold it. So you can be successful and be a schizophrenic, just not be in the episode all the time. You might be in the frame of mind, but the episodes are what is so bad when you break from reality.
What do you think, a closing comment for someone beginning schizophrenia, like that they just been diagnosed with it? What would you say for them?
Get a good doctor.
Get a good doctor and
make sure they don't have one that's just pill happy.
Pill happy, yeah, I always hear about that.
And make sure you get the right diagnosis.
Yeah.
Instead of being I was treated for something entirely different for 20 years.
And that was the personalities, you said?
Personality disorder.